really her, and the story is really true because based on the research and based on the documentation that they found out on the around and co-op area.
You know what? I wanted you to actually define matriarchy because when people think of that, they think it's the opposite of patriarchy. But I want to know how you define it because, in my opinion, it's not the opposite. But I want to know how you look at it, so we're all on the same page here when you're talking about this.
Like the opposite of the.
No, if you can define matriarchy, because we're talking about because right now we're in a patriarchal society, right? Like men are the dominant forces in everything, socioeconomics, politics. You have some women too, but it's less, yeah. So in ancient times, we have some stories of women in Cambodia making these decisions that have changed the course of Cambodia, but it's since changed then. But they were very impactful, and women were not viewed in the same way as they are now. And even I was telling you before the Bong Talk session, I was on Instagram and somebody shared a bunch of videos from the golden era, and it was talking about women. The women were singing, and one of the songs was about her losing her virginity, but she was singing in a playful way, and it wasn't so looked down upon as it is now. And she's telling her mom, "Oh, I broke my clay pot," and the clay pot is supposed to represent her virginity, and she's kind of playing it off and such. But that was just a marker of how we actually will view women differently from men. So back to my question about how do you define matriarchy? For me, it's about valuing all people, but recognizing that people and society come from women. We birth everything, and the markers in our language have markers of that as well. As you mentioned in your presentation, there's a leader. Yeah, a leader.
Leader norm.
Yeah, I'm not very fluent in Khmer, so I can't pick any off the top of my head. But what can you give me some more examples?
That's okay, Mom, because I'm not fluent in English and you're not fluent in Khmer. So it is a way for you to have the exchange, the idea. So for me, it's just we all human. We all have a same life, and we still live in the same earth. Why we need to have a double standard? And also, women give birth. It's just the same way as you think. We all give birth and we satisfy everything. Why they have the double standard for a woman and for a man? And why they put a man in a high value while the women not? So back to what I am thinking and what I am finding out, it's just we are the same human, and we need the same right, and we need the same space and the same opportunity to show our knowledge and our capacity to lead the country. It's not just only right now, even in Cambodia and most countries, there's less women to participate and also to be the decision maker. So why? Because they think that, the women is just she thinks too much, she's not there to do anything, but the way that society touch the women and the girl, she don't need to do anything, and the society touch them not to give the opinion. You just only listen. It's like that. That's all. You don't need to give the opinion. You don't need to think. Even just thinking about it, you don't need to think. The man can do it. You let them do it. So we even don't have a chance to sing. We don't have a chance to give our opinion. How can we practice our brain to do something like that?
Do you think it's more like that in the public sphere though? Because like when I was growing up, I remember my mom had a say in a lot of things, but that didn't necessarily translate to, you know, how she presented herself in public. Like, do you think that women actually do have a say?
Yes, they have to say, but it's just like, because of the society didn't allow her to say, even her mom, even my mom, she said that, oh, you don't need to talk too much, you don't need to do like that, and even I become the activist, many people, they said that being the women activist is really risky. It's not just only risk your freedom, but you can't find a man who can stay with you forever. And you also will, if you have a husband, your husband will like ask you to get divorced because of your activism. So many women face that challenge. So that it's like they say that, oh, because of you are the activist, they don't get to marry you. It's just like what?
I think that's your goal in life.
My goal in life is not to get married with a man who didn't allow me to follow my dream.
Yeah.
So my funny story, and it really happened to me. My ex, my previous boyfriend, it's just like my ex. He tried to stop me from being an activist, and he gave me only two choices. One, to continue with him, and we will get married. We will build our future. We will buy a house, a car, and we will have a child. And we can travel to where you want to go. And the second choice, continue. And the first choice, choose him and stop being my activism and stop being what I dream and I believe with. And the second choice, continue what you dream and continue what you believe in, and we break up. So I chose the second choice, let's break up. So let's break up, and I believe that the man is not my goal in the life. If I choose a man that I drop my goal and my value, how can I find my value in the family? How I can advise to my child to be a good citizenship, to be a good child, while I drop everything just because of a man. So it's just like, and I believe that if I can't find a man, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, it's not my goal. And what the man means to us, is it his everything to our life, or he just a part to walk through and it's just like, if he's just only a part to allow you to go to with your dream. So right now, I can find a man who support me and who also is just like try to support me to reach my goal and to support even my activism. Even I face the challenge, and I used to be in jail because my activism, and he's the one who brings the food for me every week. If he stopped me to be the activist, okay, break out again. It's just like that. My goal is not just only for a man. My goal, and I told you that I don't want to be my mom. That is why a man is not my goal. My goal is just like, I need to show the world and even the young generation, we can do it without a man. And we can do it to use our voice, to use our knowledge and capacity to contribute to our country without a man. And we can do it as a women.
Which modern women in recent times have influenced you?
Recent time?
Because we know the stories have influenced you, but what about more recent figures?
Right now, it's just like there are many content creators. They talk about the women rights, but not really much. So it's just like for a woman who influence me, it's all the victim women that she's the victim and she just like pushed me to go through, and they also like a part of my belief that one day we all not a victim anymore. We all will have the right and the same page as a man. So there's many women play the important role and to empower me, but they are not really just like they are all the victim one. That even the activists, the social, and even like a sex worker, they all influence like motivate me to go through this path. It's because of I don't want any women face this challenge and face the problem and even the situation. I want the girl who have the space to speak, and even my mother, she's like a role model for me that sacrifice for the family, but I don't want every woman to become my mother. I want her to dream. She has her own dream, but she never have a chance to do it. So I think that every girl have our dream. Why can't we do that? So to create the space, we need to fight to get our space back, to get our rights back. Not just only stay silent and hope that one day the man will give you the right and the space to do it. No, they don't. Because they will fight to get the space for them, and they will just only keep their comfort zone. It's just like the society right now put them in the opportunity to do everything, even cheating their wife. So they will keep their space for them. Why we still keep silent and remain that hoping one day they will give you that space? It's not happen. It's only fighting to get it.
What do you think is the most difficult challenges you faced being an advocate for women? Was it starting up, or was it being thrown in jail, or?
The big challenge is not about being in jail, and it's not about growing up. But the big challenge is that how to advocate the women to know their rights. Because some women have thought that they don't have the right to do that kind of thing, and they don't have a chance to even thinking about it. So the biggest challenge for me when being the women activist and empower women to do everything, to do anything, it's just like how to allow them and how to get them out of the box and thinking a different way. It's really hard because, like I said, some women didn't support women. So that is what happened in Cambodia right now, and we just want the women know their right and have like a high education about how women can do and human right of that the women right, and even how to dress well. Some women they blame even like some, it's just like you wear the bikini and they will blame, oh you can't wear it, it's not the way that Khmer can do it. It's just like they will blame the women even just only dress, even their opinion, even they dare to speak out, even they try to educate our generation about the sexual. That kind of like many women just coming up. So the challenge is that how to educate women to know their right and get out of the box to think just only women just be home.
Where did you get this from? Because your mom is very traditional and your dad didn't support you. Where did you find the energy and the willpower to advocate for others and risk losing your family?
Maybe because of the history of, because of my family situation. My mom, sometimes she got violent from my father. So it's just like, I don't want that kind of thing happen. And even my sister, she said that you go as far as you can go. Don't stay the same way like her or like our mother. It's not good for you. Go as far as you can go. And also I saw many women, and it's just like also the family, my neighbor. She got a high education, and she married a man who respect her. So I think that only the education and only you know about your right that allow people to respect you, and only to stand up for yourself is allow the people to respect you. It's not just only staying home and do the proper way like what the society target and limit your right. It's just like it's not the way that we get our value. So that is why what I get empowered to do that kind of thing, and also thinking about like what I said about the Khmer folk. There are many women just stand up, and many women will even the country, even the first university, and why can't we? And why can't we do that kind of thing? And when I was young, I like reading the book. So I like reading about like the leader of the world, who is like the famous leader, and mostly it's about the men, not really much about the women. So I wonder how the women can be a leader one day. And I read about the women history, even many queens. It's just like many women leaders. It's just like, oh, it's really nice. I want to be them. It's just like I dream of one day. Women will have like more space to do what they can do and build the history. Like when I was young, I read just mostly about the men, and I hope that the next generation will read the history mostly about the women. That is what I dream of, and I think that it will happen if we dare to do it and we dare to dream about it.
Speaking of literature, specifically folklore, what do you think makes Khmer folklore historically different than the Western folklore?
Back to the history, I think even the Western and even everywhere in the world, they have a similar history. It's just only women just don't have the right, but Western just go first to get a women right, and women just there to do anything because of like maybe because of the situation and because of the stress that allow the women to go up and get up to fight for a women right. But when we study about history, we are on the same page. Every woman got harassment, and every woman is just like don't have a chance to do anything. But the Western just prefers to fight for a women right, and we have like a women right in our history, and also it reached to the Southeast Asia and also to Cambodia. But because of the people in Cambodia, they use culture, the word culture that limit the women. The word culture that don't allow women to do anything. So it's just like our culture is not like that. Our culture is just like this way. You need to stay home. Our culture needs you to dress proper. You need to be polite. You will become a wife, a mother. That is not culture. Cambodian culture is not teach us that way. Cambodian culture is really beautiful. And if we talk about Cambodian culture, we need to think about the countdown flying in here. It is all about women. Why don't we talk about that? But the society it just keep saying and put women in under the culture and use the culture as the excuse to limit our right. So there is the difference that we depend on the culture too much and use culture like in not a good way to treat women. It's just like to in a bad way that benefit to the men.
What would you say to a young Khmer girl who doesn't see her value outside of becoming a wife or a mother?
What would I say? your value, it depends on you. And you can find a boyfriend or a husband. It's just only not really hard to find them, but it's hard to fight for your value and to find your goal. It's just like you meet a lot of men on the street. It's just like when you go out, you meet a lot of men. It's not hard to find a husband. It's not hard to find a man, but it's hard to find your goal and to give the space to yourself, to allow yourself to reach your goal and to allow yourself to dream, to have a big dream. So even when I talk, many young people, they just come to me and they said that many people feel the same way, like her boyfriend gives just only 2 choices the same as me. So I said that break up. It's just like break up. It's not like the way I say, it's not hard to find a man, but a boy, but it's hard to find a man, a good man to live with your life, but it is not your final goal.
Yeah.
Your final goal, only one, is to value yourself. If you end up just only to stay at home and keep silent, who bring you the voice and the space to speak? If you don't fight for it, you won't get it. It's just like if you don't go out to work, you won't get the salary and the money to pay for that life. Your right is the same. If you don't fight for it, who give it to you? It's not everyone just coming to help you. It's only you who can help yourself. So, yeah, like I said, go out and fight for your right and find your value.
I'm going to open the floor to, I'm going to open the mic up to the audience here. Does anyone have questions? I know you do. Oh, there. Can you talk into both mics?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Hi, thank you for this. Oh, with that one. Wait, this good?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a question, but it kind of comes in the form of a very long comment and then a question kind of tacked at the end. I think the idea of like huge cultural change in the history of Cambodia is very interesting, starting off with this like matriarchal society that's very well seen in the origins of the kingdom and in folklore. And then somehow we get to like 2026 and it's like all messed up and we have so much sexism being rampant. And an inevitable influence in that is just like objectively imperialism, whether that's imperialism from the French, from the Japanese, from globalization in like the internet and being exposed to different cultures because of the advent of the internet. And one thing really interesting happening currently in a lot of Western societies, specifically America, is that we have a huge kind of like radical shift towards more sexism actually, especially post like the presidency of Donald Trump, right? So much of what you're talking about, especially when you talk about like the challenges of helping women, is like how do we get women to like advocate and understand their own rights when all of this ideology has been so entrenched in you since you were a child? And we're seeing that now when we see young boys and girls talk about their relationships with each other in 2026. We see like 13-year-old boys being like, oh no, women are property and they belong to me. Earlier, you would answer the question of like, oh, what would you say to a young woman that maybe only sees her life purpose as becoming a wife and a mother? But what I think is a little bit more interesting is, what would you say to a young man, or just young men in general, about like the way they should respect women? Because one, you're like a child, so you don't necessarily have as nuanced of language to understand this. And then also you're kind of just internalizing what everybody else says around you. Yes, I understand your point of like, sexism is not inherently inextricable in the culture. It's not like baked right into it. But it is rampant. And when you are a child, it does feel like it's inherently part of the culture. So how do we combat that and teach that to, I don't know, teens, preteens? Yeah.
Great question.
Thank you for your question. The first is just like how to teach men and boy to respect a woman and to evolve, to give the space for women. It's just like what I always talk to the young men who join the activity in the social work. It's just like everyone like prove that it is the natural of the man that cheat, that violent, that harassment. It's just only the nature. And if you silent and you keep silent and not prove that no, it is not a man natural, it is not a natural of the man. We all have like a good value, and if you don't stand up, it means that yes, you accept that behavior and you in the same page like those men, those boys. So you need to stand up for men, and you need to use your voice to prove that you are not that shameful man that they speak and they use the nature to protect their shame, like it's just like to protect what they did wrong. So they don't have the responsible, they didn't even respect their mother, their daughter, their sister, and they use the natural of the men to protect and to prevent what they did wrong and what the shame of them. So if you want to prove that no, the man is not like that, you need to stand up and to fight what they said and to use your voice as a man. The man is not like that, and you are the same man. And why you use the word? It is like all the men the same you. So when you stand up, you also allow the women to think that yes, there is the man who try to protect themselves, and the man who prove that that is not about the culture, it is not about the natural, but it is about what they think, and it is about what happened in the society. So the women will get up the same way. And how to educate the women and also the young about the sexual. There are many content, and it's not really good to allow the kids or a young age to have like access to the social media, because some content is really not really good. But there is I saw that there is many ways to educate people about those things, just to put it in the education system. So the school teach both men, both girls and boys about those kind of things in the proper way. Not it's just like the content creator, they just want to get more view, so they will create some video. It's not really good, so it's not good for the kids to spend too much time or even just to pretend or depend on the social media. But the government should put those kind of things in the education system. And also not just only about the government, but we all need to fight for that. We need to fight because we pay the tax, we pay everything, and the government is not our leader. They just go there to serve us. So we all give the salary to them, and we have the power to fight and to advocate, and also to ask them to put that kind of thing to the education system and also the healthcare. And one more thing, we also need to talk to the non-profit organization that they working on the sex worker and also the kids, and they have also the training, everything. That is the way that we all not just only depend on the government, not just only depend on the education system, but depend on everyone in the society who get involved with it.
I was going to comment about that and ask you questions to see what are the ways that can be done about this, because for women to step up, you need backup from men. You need to be making it aware and having their support. But the thing that the issue in Cambodia, and I'm very well aware, all wealthy men have multiple families. They have their main wife, many mistresses, and side chicks with kids, right? And if you leave it up to them, of course they don't want to lose that power because, like you mentioned, that is a social, cultural norm. They just use it as an excuse to say, I want to keep it that way because I can have side chicks, right? But for women, anything's bad. Whatever they do, they always get the bad stuff, right? So I believe that through education and awareness, so is there currently really like any programs? Because I'm sure the modern men, the younger ones, have, you know, access to internet and things like that. They can see how other countries are, right? Women are the way we are here. Not super equal, but at least better than in Cambodia, right? So I'm sure there's still young men that kind of true believe that they have sisters and mom and aunts, right? And if you can kind of show them some sort of support, how they can join the women in this kind of wave of whatever you call this activism. I'm just wondering, like, is there any programs you think that is available to educate everybody? Because obviously the first step is to educate the women, but I'm sure it's as important to have the men back in this as well.
So to clarify, it's just like you want to know about the program available in.
Yeah, is there a way? Is the school open to this? Is it like something you can do?
Got it. So there are many, back to Cambodia, there are many organizations that working with the women's rights and also have the program to train and educate and empower women about their rights and their core value. But it's just like because of the society, not much men allow their wives to go there. And also some program, they go through to their community to empower. So it is the program in Cambodia that are available with the non-profit organization, but for the education system from the government, no. I can say that the government, they don't have the intention to do that kind of thing. Why? Because even the girl has harassed or even violent, we have like a Ministry of Women Affairs, but they did nothing. Unless the people use the social media to demand justice for women, and it ends up the Ministry of Women Affairs just coming to release just only the letter. If nothing happened and nothing, it don't help the action to do and to show the problem. So it's just like if we talk about the program from the government, it not really help much, and even in the government member, it's just like a little. In the government, it's just like only a few women who join their decision making. Most of them men. And even the women, it's just only a little bit power to share their voices. It's just only Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Commerce, it's just only that kind of thing.
So my last time in Cambodia was over 25 years ago. And so from the sound of it, nothing has really changed when it comes to cultural norms. So when I was there in 99 and 2001, I was much younger. And I have some uncles that really forbid me to have toe rings, hair color, just anything that didn't fit the Khmer girl, good girl fit, right? So, and I couldn't go anywhere, couldn't do anything. And then I have another side of my family who's the men are super supportive. So it was very strange. So is it the same in Cambodia still when it comes to you know, still, I guess this is what it is, right? Is that like girls should get married, have kids, and under their husband.
I can say it still happen, and even it's just not that why I say that the biggest challenge is to educate the women to know their rights. Even sometimes they go to the university, but they end up to become a wife. And they say that, oh, you are so lucky that you have a man who work for you and they allow you to stay home. But they didn't say that this is just like the way that the man try to take your value and to give you, like, look down on the public view. So it's just like if they want you to go higher and further, they will push you to go to follow your dream. But most of my friends at the university, they thinking like, oh, you are so lucky that you have married with a rich man, or it's just like you are so lucky that you have like a man who can afford for your living cost and you didn't do nothing. If you do nothing, just stay home. So even just they went to the university and they graduate, that cultural norms still happen and still affect to the way they think. So, and just right now, the women don't have the right to go. Like, we have a right to go out at the night time, but if something happened on the women, they didn't blame a man who harassed or violent on the women, but they will say, you are a girl, you are a woman, why you need to go out at the night time? It's just only that.
Do you have another question? Oh, Wong.
Yeah. I just have a comment regarding Indra Devi. I'm surprised that Indra Devi is your role model, woman, because Indra Devi, there's a story, she's a sad older sister because her younger sister was married to the king Chaivaraman VII. And this is not a folklore because it's inscribed in the inscription in Taprum temple. If you go to visit there, you can go through that inscription. It is a real life. Her younger sister was passed away. That's why the king married to older sister. Yeah. So from the history standpoint, I think she is the advisor to the king before, and during like the king is her in-law, and the king developed very great expansion. The Cambodian was known for the very expanded kingdom during the history, during King Chaivaraman VII. And in that period, they built hospital, they built university, they built bridge, they built road, too many different places. That is very significant history legacy that humanity have known during that period. So I think Indra Devi was a good advisor for social, economic, and political development during that time. Another thing about Cambodia right now, like she mentioned, we are still facing challenges because the abusers are the top-down power, not the bottom-up. So culture differences or culture embeddedness is just from bottom-up approach. It has no significant power. But the top power very corrupted because Cambodians still have prostitution and trading sex and girls, which is different from here. So a lot of incentive to look down on women. And for the monogamy law in Cambodia, we have the law like here, that men only can afford one wife. But in Cambodia, in practice, those powerful tycoon and powerful politicians in power, they can afford how many wives without facing the punishment. So this is the truth. And when they say something like, okay, I go to Khnyom Chok Mulatan, this is the term they use. It means that I go to check my my worker in the area, a remote area, right? It means they go to find another girls everywhere. Yeah, this is corrupted mindset of those powerful leaders. So I think institutionalization is the big issue that we have to create, the rule of law and justice system, and punish those men in power who abuse this monogamy rule in Cambodia, so that we can raise up women. We have national policy and supported by European Union and United Nations that we have to nominate more women into city councillor, into local government, and also national government. Like we have to count how many percent we designate a woman for member of parliament, how many women we designate for city councillor, right? And how many women we designate for other posts, government posts, even though NGO, some more incentive for women. So this is we give more job to women to do. So this is part of the womanized approach in Cambodia. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you all for your feedback and also your comment. It's just like for Antradevi, the way I respect her, it's just like the way she use their knowledge and also her talent and also her capacity to build and to be a part of leading and develop the country. But for her personal, it's just like it is her personal. I don't have any comment, and that is why I say that I don't want to have the life like the Cambodian women and even my mother. But what is the good thing that I can take from them? It is about how they use their capacity, their knowledge, to be a part of building the country and the kingdom at that time, and to empower women to go to school at that era. So that is why I just like the way I think of her and the way I took her as the role model. And I agree with you about the corrupt. And even the leader, they have like many things, secret things, many leader, many tycoon. They have a lot of girl wife, or even it's just like in Khmer it calls like yeah. They have many of them. And when we talk about those kind of things, it ends up just like, look at our leader. They do the same way. And why you just say it about just like we are the ordinary people, and how can we stop doing that? It's just like even the tycoon, the leader, they do that kind of way. And that is why I say that the government, they don't have intention to give the value to the women and open for the women right. There's no, we need to fight for that, and we, like you said, we need to have like a positive change on our country, to have a space for women, to have more space for women. Even the law, it's just like even everything, they need to empower women to go to join them. At least 50% of the parliament that have a man, that have a women to join that. So it's just like to create a space and to change the society and to change the cultural norm. We all need to fight for that. We can't depend on the government. We can't depend on the men to give us the space. But we women need to fight for that. And not only women, men also need to prove that you are not the same pay like the shame men.
I just want to add to Bernard's comment about even here in North America, there is this like polarization and extreme sexism happening. So we're talking about Cambodia, but I also don't want to put like Canada on the pedestal, because the same shit happens here too. Just we hide it better here, right? So I just want to point that out. There was one. I just want to point that out at this time. I had another thought, but I forget what it is now. But yes, I want to thank you for being our guest speaker today, and thank you everyone for joining us. I hope you learned a lot about Cambodia, Cambodian society, how from Rata's perspective, how it came to be the way it is now, and the sort of work that she's doing, which reminds me, this is how I think we can change. We can lead by example. So we don't even have to be in Cambodia to be doing this, to be advocating for people, for girls' rights. We could be doing this, and we could be doing exactly what we want to happen. So Rata, she is advocating for human rights here, but she's fighting for Cambodians, but she's here in Canada, and she's using her voice for that. We can do the same. Those of us on social media, we can talk about what we're doing. Like, hey, this is how much I achieved going to school. This is what I'm doing right now. So, you know, it's hard to dream about something when you don't see it.
Yeah.
So when there are more examples of that happening, it just makes it easier for people to see a different life aside from being someone who is submissive. So that was my second thought that I wanted to put up there. And yes, thank you again for joining us for our last long talk session. I really appreciate it.
Can I just add, thank you so much, Rata, for speaking. You are doing something super important, and you're giving hope to so many women in Cambodia. Before we close out tonight, this may be our last bond talks for the summer, but you should expect to see more of us soon. So please keep your eye out on the Cambodian Cultural Center page. And we'll also be having Khmer language classes in the fall. You can register on the Cambodian Cultural Center website. You'll be teaching the kids class, right? Yeah, so she'll be teaching, so you'll see more of her. You can also learn a little bit more about history, because sometimes they like to add some facts and stuff. And yeah, we hope to see you there.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming today, and I hope my broken English is not a big challenge for you to understand the meaning and also to understand the situation in Cambodia. And I hope to learn more from you too, and how we feel, and we hope to bring a better future for women in Cambodia. And like you said, even we are here, but we need to take a small step. If we don't take a small step, how can we reach our goals, and how can we go further as far as we can go, even we just stay here. So it's just like your voice is matter. Our voice is just, my voice is only one voice. But if I have your voice, we become multiple voices. So how can we all come together? How women and men just stand up to fight for a women's rights in Cambodia? Imagine Cambodian women have a space to stand up. And what's going on? And we can change. And we hope that women in Cambodia have deserve the better life like what we live here, and we also want them to dare to dream. We also want them to have a chance like we have in Canada and in the Western countries.